This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
Welcome to The Secret to Everything. I am Dr. Kimberly McGeorge, and as always, I am so excited, and it is my privilege to be with you today, and it is our privilege to have one of my very favorite all-time guests since I've been doing this show for about 5 years, and that is Mr. Joedy Cook. And if you haven't ever heard an interview with Joedy, you are going to be on the edge of your seat because he never fails to amuse, fascinate, and entertain, all in a very educational way. In fact, I'd like to call Mr. Joedy Cook the #1 Bigfoot and Dogman researcher in the entire world. And that's just my personal opinion, and you will probably have the same opinion as me by the time the show is done. But first, we're going to talk about a couple of things. And I thought, since I've been kind of negative the last couple weeks, I'm going to do a little meditation and kind of bring the energy down before we bring the energy back up, and just kind of go into a little bit of a chill state. So I'm going to sample you guys a joy meditation from our holiday frequency meditations that we put out this year. So if you want more information, you can go to my website at secrettoeverything.com. So we're going to take a deep breath, and we're going to go into the time-space matrix and the quantum field. We're going to take another deep breath, and we're going to begin to clear the energetic pathways in our DNA, in our cells, in our brain, and in our energy field. And we're going to comb through and remove any resistance particles that saturate our being in this time, in this space, and in this reality. And we're going to slowly open up to receive this meditation or this meditation sample. Our ability to choose, we're going to amp up, and our ability to receive joy this holiday season. Most of us have never felt unbridled joy. We've never found the exquisite kind, the kind that steals your breath and leaves you wondering how you could even absorb one more moment of what we call this human experience. But today, you and I, we choose joy in any way that it comes for us. We allow our energy to direct powerful frequencies of joyful expansion, and we allow these to dance along our DNA, our emotions, and our mind, however we choose. And we're going to breathe joy in, bet you never done that. And we're going to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to breathe joy out. And we're going to do that to others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And joy, like every other feeling, every other emotion, has its own frequency. So we now invoke the frequency of joy into this space over these radio waves, wherever you are, in whatever country, whatever time zone, and whatever circumstance. We bring you the frequency of joy into this time, into this dimension, and into your physical body you are now living in. And as a soul, an eternal soul, we surround ourselves with platinum, with gold, with copper. And we make the decision to keep any other energy or person or even situation from stealing our joy. We celebrate every breath that we take. We delight in living truly in the moment. Deep contentment cannot be bought or changed despite our circumstances, for it is the journey of joy that leads us forward when all hope seems gone. It is in those moments, those irreplaceable moments, that keep us going inside and despite darker times. It is the birthright of each one of us. Yes, it is even the birthright of you. Perhaps you are not familiar with joy. Perhaps it has eluded you, hidden and dodged you thus far. Today we say together, you and I, no more. Today, maybe for the first time, we allow the possibility of joy to enter our being, our energy field, and our very cells. Today, we choose joy. Again for some, and the first time for others, but still we choose. Choosing joy is the ultimate act of self-care and self-nurturing. We cannot rely on any outside thing, event, or even person to create the wellspring of joy. Joy comes from our relationship with our Creator and ourselves, and nothing beyond that. So take a moment and drop down into your third chakra, the bottom of your stomach area, the center of your being. Settle there lightly and allow the possibility of joy to be birthed from your power center for the very first time. And like I said, that's just a sample from our holiday meditations. If you guys want the full shebang with many other meditations with frequencies underneath, then you'll want to check out our holiday meditations on thesecrettoeverything.com. So we'll be back with Mr. Joedy Cook, and we'll be talking about kind of a weird subject to follow that, which is Bigfoot and Dogman and all things cryptozoology right here on The Secret to Everything.
This is Johanna Carroll, host of Dialogue with Divinity on the X-Zone Broadcast Network. While walking along Kaanapali Beach in Maui this past year, I kept discovering all these shells and coral in the shape of hearts. My dialogue with Divinity was very simple. Do you want me to do a retreat to heal people's hearts in Maui next year? And of course, the answer was yes. As a master spiritual teacher, I am offering you a neat retreat called Rise, May 8th through the 12th, 2017, and the chance of a lifetime to rest at a 5-star resort for 5 days and experience a spiritual renewal of your heart and soul. Kaanapali is one of the top 5 beaches in the world. This stunning resort has undergone a $40 million renovation. I walked the entire property, checked out the room choices on your behalf, and I must say it is stunning. Our conference room faces the ocean with sliding glass doors. Maui is known as Mother Maui because it is a soft, gentle, healing energy. In the embrace of Mother Maui, you will feel yourself rising from the limitations of an ordinary life to an extraordinary journey of peace, bliss, and harmony. A greater sense of clarity. Our Rise retreat ignites renewal in the sacred elements of air, water, earth, fire, and wind. There's plenty of free time to enjoy all that Maui has to offer. A small deposit is required now to reserve your space, as this retreat, it will sell out. For more details, please go to johannacarroll.com and register today. Aloha, and I'll see you in mystical Maui.
How would you like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Nemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created Nemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com.
Welcome back to The Secret to Everything. I am Dr. Kimberly McGeorge, and with me today is Mr. Joedy Cook. And we are going to talk about something that childhood nightmares are made of, and that is the subject of werewolves. Also, I don't know why. We'll talk to Joedy about that. Nowadays, they're called dogmen, so we'll have to ask Joedy why that is. But who is Mr. Joedy Cook? He is one of the most active Bigfoot researchers, I would say, in the world. Originally, he was a member of the Cincinnati UFO research group, A.S.K. or ASK, but realized that he was truly fascinated with cryptozoology. And he has been studying Bigfoot since 1991. And he says he's the author of several books, but he has a lot of books, and I'm not going to read them. I own many of them, and they are absolutely phenomenal. He has written about the Mothman. He has written about werewolves and zombies and Bigfoot. So if you guys are into cryptozoology, you need to go on Amazon and Google him and definitely get a hold of his stuff. But I know, Joedy, that once we get going, or once I get going, that we're going to run out of time. So I'm going to welcome you to The Secret to Everything again for the 4th or 5th time. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Love to be here.
Yeah, I love what you do.
Enjoy.
Me too. And we always get into some really great conversations. I have so many questions, partly, Joedy, because my own experience with cryptozoology has drastically changed even since the last time we've talked. But could you, I know you said that, you started in this UFO group, and I'm familiar with your story, but why do you think cryptozoology holds such an appeal to you? What is it that grabbed you and hasn't let you go for all these years?
It's just the wonder of the existence, the thrill of the hunt type thing. My whole thing is, I really don't want to find the answer, because once you find the answer to something, then it's done, and it's fun. It's fun to do. When I first got into it, I mean, I can honestly say it definitely I was obsessed with it. I mean, truly obsessed with it. And it kind of grabs you because it's a whole thing about wondering and, the possibilities of other things, outside our realm and, of our everyday living and things like that, to possibly have something like this can exist, how it can be found, how it hides, and not be able to be seen, and for centuries, and things, and that's what kind of interesting, because you can go back and you can see the actual history of it, through history, through, old newspaper articles and stories and, things from other people, talking about, the stories they had from their parents and grandparents and things. So that's what I kind of find really interesting, about it. It's just, like you said, it just grabs you. There's no other way to to describe it.
It's funny that you say it grabs you, because I've been interested in all these things, the occult, the paranormal, cryptozoology, since I was a little girl, like many children are. And many times I've tried to give up cryptozoology and even the paranormal, and I always end up right back in it. It's like you said, it's extremely magnetic. It is the thrill of the hunt. It's absolutely fascinating. I want to start, and I know you want to talk about Dogman, and so do I.
No,
but,
no.
but I want to start kind of with the Bigfoot phenomena, because you spent, Joedy, you were like known, like when I think of you, now I think of you with Dogman, but I used to think of you like almost synonymous with Bigfoot, Bigfoot, Joedy Cook, same thing, no offense. But, so talk to us a little bit about the transition from Bigfoot to Dogman, and share with me some of your most interesting, maybe an interesting story, and your most interesting observations from all the years that you wrote all those books about Bigfoot.
Like I said, I was doing Bigfoot stuff, for about 25 years total. And when I first got into it, it was fun. You met a lot of people. I kind of, at this point, I stepped out of the Bigfoot stuff and went straight into the Dogman stuff. And the reason why this is my personal opinion, okay, why I got out of the Bigfoot field was that, it got to the point where it became a clique. It became a members only club type thing. If you didn't have the right last name, you weren't speaking at a conference. If you didn't belong to a certain organization, you weren't speaking at a conference. I mean, it kind of got to that point, and there was just so much inner fighting, within the field. Everybody, it seemed like everybody, was trying to get this $1 million picture or this $1 million video, and there's no money to be made in the film, and the thing of it is, it's all the same people speaking at the same conferences all across the country, talking about the same stuff. And it's, and what I believe is, because like I said, I've been doing this for 25 years. It's time to bring new blood in. It's time to bring new people in to see what they have to say, what they have found, and it just got to the point they don't want to do that. They're so afraid that, one of these new guys who started a group last week is going to get that, big shot, and they're going to get upset about it, because the people who they would rather get the shot, it's not going to get it. And it kind of got to that point. And, it's a very backstabbing field. I'm sorry to say it. Like I said, I've been doing it for like 25 years. We have a conference here in Ohio. Okay, the largest Bigfoot conference in the country. I'm not kidding. This thing is huge. And I've never once spoke at this conference.
Wow.
Because I don't belong to a certain organization, and, it's to me, I felt that, here I am, at the time I was, it was just me and another guy that were like the only Bigfoot researchers in Ohio. And, all these other groups are coming in and stuff. I've done, quite a few things on television, radio, books and anything like that. But I was never, ever asked to speak at the conference. It's not because, I had a bad reputation or anything like that. It's just, it's one of these things that, the people who run these conferences belong to a certain organization, and they would rather have researchers who belong to their organization speak at these conferences. And, in all these really good, right now, like in Ohio, there's about a dozen really good researchers that will never, ever speak at these conferences because they refuse to, become a member of a certain organization, and things. And it's gotten to that point, and it's very sad. And I mean, I love the field. Don't get me wrong. I love doing what I was doing, and I still do it on my own, but it just, like I said, it just got to the point where, it's just a click. I mean, it's like high school. I mean, there's no other way to describe it, and, so I kind of got out of it into the public light part of dealing with Bigfoot, and I do it on my own, and whatever information I found, I keep to myself, the evidence and stuff that that I've got. And, and to me, that's fine. I'm not in this field to make money. I'm not in this field to get 15 minutes of fame. I'm in this field to trying to find a truth out about this subject, about this creature, and that's my passion. I don't need to be speaking at conferences and doing shows and things like that, in order to get the, to be noticed. I mean, I get noticed because, I'm a good person. People respect me. I show respect to other people, and I don't mind sharing information, but that's kind of like how the field is. And it's really sad. And I know, it's like that in the paranormal field and ufology and things like that. But the thing of it is, we're never going to find the truth if we don't work together. If we just don't, stop, putting, pushing away people because, they don't think the way you do, or, they don't want to wear the same T-shirt that you do, and it's like that. And it's sad. It's really sad, I don't know other way to put it, but but like I said, I do it on my own, and I do, I love doing it. There's a lot of good evidence that I've found, that I've had primatologists look at, and they agree with me with what it is and things. And that's all I need. I don't need to, jump in the limelight and, say, hey, looky, this is what I have, So I kind of, was getting a lot of these Dogman reports, and that's how I just said, I'm very interested, and I've always been interested in that subject, so I'm going to go jump into that and put my time and my effort into that. And I can still do the Bigfoot stuff, doing what I'm doing with the Dogman stuff. And what was so interesting about it, I would, go back and look at some of these old Bigfoot reports that I have that was going in the 80s and in the 90s. And, these reports where people were saying, well, I seen this Bigfoot, but, he kind of had like a snout, or he kind of had pointy ears, he kind of looked more like a dog than he did a Bigfoot, because back in the, 80s and 90s, you weren't getting a whole lot of Dogman sightings, and at the time they weren't called Dogman. People were still calling them werewolves. And so I was looking at these reports, and I'm like, man, these were Dogman sightings, what these people were seeing, because when you look at the drawings and you look at the, their description, that's what they were seeing. So I look at this, that, there were just as many Dogman sightings as they were Bigfoot sightings in, the 80s and the 90s. And that's what makes it, makes it very interesting.
So, Joedy, let's start with the very basics. What is the difference between, in your opinion, a Bigfoot sighting and the Dogman? Or what's the difference between a Sasquatch and a Dogman?
Well, the difference is, a Sasquatch is a primate and characteristics, the way it looks, human. It looks like an ape, very large, very muscular, very human face, very characteristics of human and ape. Dogman, the characteristics are more of a dog, a canine type creature. When you see it, you automatically, that's your first impression. It's a dog, canine, because of the way, the legs are, the tail, the large snout, the high pointed ears, the very, like I said, dog characteristics to it. And that's the difference. But when people are seeing these things at a distance, because of the size and the body built, it can easily be misidentified as a Bigfoot or as a dogman. And that's what has been going on, through the last couple of years. When people see this, they see the characteristics in both, but, until they get a closer look, they can't really tell exactly what it was, but they knew it was something, one of the two.
Okay, so we're getting a lot of, and you think this has been going on for a number of years, a lot of mixed reports where maybe one is being mistaken for the other, and possibly even, vice versa. If a dogman runs by, you may think it's a Sasquatch. So we'll be right back after this break with more Joedy Cook, Dogman, Sasquatch, all things cryptozoology, right here on The Secret to Everything with Dr. Kimberly McGeorge.
While science pursues fact, magic accesses the quantum level, bridging random facts to form truth. As long as science and magic remain separate and polarized, the truth cannot be known. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka. Join me on the Science of Magic radio program, dedicated to unification and evolution of consciousness. During each episode, I'll be speaking with experienced and respected scientists and mystics. From astrologers to astronomers, from medical doctors to shaman, the scientific method to dowsing and intuition, we'll weave together information from seemingly divergent practices to promote unity and enlightenment. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, and the Science of Magic right here on the Mutual Broadcast Network. For more information, visit www.thescienceofmagic.net.
Gibbs A. Williams, Ph.D., is a practicing psychoanalyst, supervisor, researcher, and author in New York City. Much of his life has been dedicated to understanding nature and the uses of meaningful coincidences or synchronicities. His radical and original non-Jungian, non-mystical, non-magical theory of synchronicities illuminates much of the fog surrounding this challenging and perplexing topic. His ideas and manners are fresh, presented in a style that is both entertaining and highly informative. He is also an expert on crisis intervention, specially focused on violence reduction for the police and citizens, mastering anxiety, frustration, and stress without the use of medication, and effectively preventing and treating heroin addiction. Dr. Williams can be contacted at his email address at gwwilliamsny11@aol.com or visit his website at.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
Afterlife expert Roberta Grimes was the first one to say that dying can be fun. Now her best-selling book, The Fun of Dying, is available in stores worldwide. So if you wonder whether death ends life, how it feels to die, or what heaven might be like, The Fun of Dying was written for you. And if you have always been afraid of death, or if you worry that your life has no meaning, let The Fun of Dying ease your fears and bring new meaning to your life. Nothing said in The Fun of Dying is based on the teachings of any religion. Instead, Roberta draws on evidence to explain how death happens, how it feels, and what comes next. A lot of the best death-related evidence was produced in the first half of the 20th century. When it is put together with recent discoveries, it tells a consistent and amazing story. Roberta Grimes blogs and answers questions at robertagrimes.com. Her wonderful book, The Fun of Dying.
Welcome back to The Secret to Everything with Dr. Kimberly McGeorge. We are here with Mr. Joedy Cook, and we are talking about all things cryptozoology, but we're kind of focusing in now on what is commonly known as the werewolf. Nowadays, I don't know why, but we call them dogmen. Joedy, can you clear that up? Why did we used to call them werewolves, and now everybody calls them dogmen? Let's start with that.
Well, I can't really honestly say how the name dogman actually came into existence, other than the sightings that took place in Michigan is where the name dogman actually started. And what people were describing it as a man dog, that it was a canine type creature that had characteristics of a human because it was standing upright, it was walking upright. It used its arms or used its hands much like a human, but it was still characteristics of a dog. So that's how the dogman name more or less come about. Now, I have an old newspaper article back in the 1930s where they described it as half man, half dog, the creature in that particular newspaper article. So that's how I believe that is how the name came about from the sightings that took place in Michigan, because like I said, that's really where the name actually came out of.
Well, and
out of Michigan with their sightings.
Let's follow that train of thought. So when we think of a werewolf, or when I think of a werewolf, I think of a man or woman that changes, I don't want to be sexist here, equal opportunity werewolves, that changes, the full moon, yada, yada, into a wolf, dogman creature. Right. That's the common legend of the werewolf. What I hear you kind of saying is, and I don't really want to get way off into shapeshifters because that's another show and another topic, and I know you're aware of that, but what I hear you saying is this a being that doesn't change back and forth? Is this creature always the same, I guess is what I'm asking. Yeah,
he's a flesh and blood creature. It's a species of, how can I say this? It's a species of canine that's capable of walking, and where its front paws are more like human hands than they are of what you would say a dog front paw would be. In my opinion, I believe that this creature has always been here, and it's just a breed of some type of canine type creature. Is it related to, the dog or the wolf? I do believe that it is, but I believe it's its own separate species of creature. Now, like you said, a lot of people believe in, when you think of werewolves, is someone changing. There is some belief, in the dogman phenomenon that does take place. I don't believe in it. I just think it's physically impossible for a human to transform it into a werewolf. Your bones, I would imagine, would have to be cartilage or something, you know what I'm saying, in order to form the way it does. I think it would probably destroy your organs, doing that. But I've talked to people that truly believe that, that, there are, human beings that's able to transform into a creature. I've been on cases where people have told me that, but like I said, I have not seen anything to convince me that it does. I just think, like you said, it's a typical flesh and blood creature that has always been here, and it kept itself very good at keeping itself not from being seen for a lot of years. So Joedy, why now? Why is it being seen now? And where would we see these creatures? Because I have to tell you, I'm looking for land in North Carolina right now to build a house, and literally, and maybe it's my abilities, I don't know. Half the time I don't know if it's my abilities or I'm really seeing them. We'll talk about the cloaking thing in a little bit, but
I see these things in pictures that people post of land. I see these things, Bigfoot, I'm talking about, Sasquatch. I think maybe it's not. And, maybe it is a mix. But I see these things driving down the road. Now, I live in the foothills of mountains in a rural area. So, maybe that has something to do with it. And then, of course, when we go out in the deep mountains in the Blue Ridge Parkway and all of that to my friends' houses, their habitation sites. And all that means, for those of you guys that don't know, is that these people live among them and they live among the people. But so why do I not see dogmen? Or would you say that maybe I do?
Well, the thing of it is with dogman, Bigfoot sightings are pretty prevalent, meaning that they're seen all over. The continental United States and Canada. Dogman is for a long period of time, they were just like small pocket areas, in the United States and in Canada, where these sightings were actually taking place. As time was going on, that pocket getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's what we're finding out with our organization. The data that we're getting, the sightings are just being overwhelmed, in places where, I would never thought a dogman sighting would ever took place. And we're getting these sightings, and they're getting more and more prevalent, which is good, in my case. But why is it they're getting more notice? I think because of, the fact that we are intruding in their home by building, by logging, and that's why we're getting a lot of Bigfoot sightings, I believe also.
Okay.
The food source in different areas may have something to do with it, and they're coming out of, their comfort zone to look for food, and doing that, they're, getting human contact. And that could be, a reason why, this is happening. And, but it's just like you said, it's just within, the last year, I've seen just a major jump in the amount of sightings from last year to this year in different parts of the country. Not necessarily just in rural areas. I'm talking in residential areas, that these sightings are taking place. And that's scary if you think about it. There's one particular case in Akron, Ohio, and a metro park there. We know that these things are being seen in this metro park, and they've been seen going across the road from the park, going into, the condominium areas and going through the dumpsters for food.
Wow.
So, and this is a high, visual, residential area, that this is taking place. And it's not just, in Akron, it's different parts of the country, where the, sightings like this are taking place. And like you said, it's only one or two things, the environment's changing for them, making them come out, or the food source, is making them come out, because animals generally try to kind of stay away from human contact, or try to stay away from something that's going to put them, I guess, in danger is the best way to say it. I'm sure animals are smart enough to know that, a moving car could be danger for them, but, or a human could be danger to them other than, a food source. But they generally, I imagine, would not want to make contact, with anyone. They're better off not being seen. It's safer for them, because most predators, don't have another predator that they would seem to want to worry about. There are other predators that's in competition with them, but I'm talking about another predator that they're fair of, being. So, that's only the only way I can honestly think that's why we're getting all these sightings that are taking place, is strictly, because of those two reasons. I could be wrong, but those are the two best reasons that that most researchers can come up with at this time.
So I've heard both sides of this. I think it's a little bit of a debate. Do Bigfoot and Dogman run together? I've also seen pictures, I don't know if they're fake or not, of different heads of different species hung from trees in different territories. So kind of go into that a little bit. Are they friends? Are they enemies? Do they run together? Do they have territories? What's your opinion on all that?
I'm sure they've ran across each other. Okay, I'm sure that is definitely taken place. I don't think that they would be friends, to be honest, because one's an apex predator, the other one, is a very strong creature. And I'm sure, like you said, they ran across each other. I'm sure they probably got in scrimmages with one another, but I think they have a mutual respect. Don't mess with me. I don't mess with you. Don't come in my area. I don't come in your area. Mm-hmm. And I truly believe that. There's a lot of researchers that believe that, but I'm sure, they're going to get restless and, pick a fight, and things, because things just don't like to stay in boundaries. And like you said, if the food source is gone, they're going to go into another boundary looking for it. So there's been reports, of scrimmages between the both. The Native American culture, depending on what tribe that you speak about or speak to, each one will tell you that they've had these two creatures have mutual understandings with each other. Don't mess with me, I don't mess with you type thing. But sooner or later, competition is going to take place, and they're going to meet up, and they're going to do what they have to do in order to survive. I would probably put my money on Bigfoot because of strength, mm-hmm. In a fight, but I don't think Dogman is going to go one-on-one with a Bigfoot. I think he's gonna go more than one-on-one, and things. I don't know. I'd love to see it. It would be awesome to see two of them in Mortal Kombat, to see what the outterm is. But like you said, I would put my money on Bigfoot, when it comes to something like that.
So where do I go if I'm hunting? And I don't mean literally, of course, but I'm looking for Dogman. Where do I go to find one, in your opinion?
Well, here's the thing. What I would do first is I would do research and to find out, if there's any sightings within, my general area or within my mm-hmm. state. That would be my first thing. If there's not, then I would go and find out what's closest. The thing of what a lot of people don't understand is that, you're not going to find it if you go out looking for it. They find you. And if they want to be noticed, they're going to be, they're going to let you know to be noticed. But I would go where they have been a high amount of
okay, let me
sightings.
cut you off there, Joedy. We will get right back. I'm going to dig into that a little bit. We're right on the other end. It's commercial break right here on The Secret to Everything.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money in abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
What Happened in Benghazi is revealed by Nicholas Genix, author of Obama, Islam, and Benghazi. He informs the American people that President Obama deceived them by advocating a strong foreign policy prior to the 2012 presidential election, and Hillary Clinton supported this deception. As the title infers, there is a connection between Obama, Islam, and Benghazi. Ample evidence informs Americans that Obama's early indoctrination in the Quran developed an affinity for Islam, why the Quran is the source of discontent in many countries, and why the Obama foreign policy deception led to poor military action and caused the loss of American lives in Benghazi. Genix provides 36 questions for the Select Committee on Benghazi to validate if Americans are justified to mistrust President Obama and Hillary Clinton. An overview of Obama, Islam, and Benghazi is presented on the website www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com. You're listening to the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net.
Welcome back to The Secret to Everything. I'm Dr. Kimberly McGeorge, and we are in the middle of a just getting really super interesting discussion about all things cryptozoology, but right now we are talking about the Dogman. And we left off, and you said something I find rather profound. You said with the Dogman, you don't really go looking for them. They kind of come and find you. What did you mean by that? Because I've kind of wondered myself if I'm seeing Bigfoot because I want to see Bigfoot, or if they want me to see them. So it's interesting that you're saying the exact same thing kind of that I'm observing about Dogman. So is there a trust thing? Do they have I'm sure they have a sixth sense. I mean, they're canine-ish creatures. So can they kind of read people? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's what I'm saying is that, if you're going out looking for, Bigfoot, looking for Dogman, you're not going to find them. Okay. I mean,
they're going to hide.
People who, right.
Okay.
The thing is, when people have sightings of Bigfoot or sightings of Dogman, from what I can tell from the reports that we're getting, is that I would say about 90% of them was that because they ran across them, meaning
Accidentally.
that it was an accidental, encounter. I like you said, probably 10% of what we have now. With other researchers, it might be different, but with me, about 10% of the sightings, it was basically they let that individual know that they were there. And for whatever reason it was, because they came upon them when they, were doing something where they were hunting, or they had a kill, or they were stalking you and they were letting you know. And like I said, some of the reports that we've got, we've got quite a few like that. I mean, one of the guys on our team was down in, I believe it was North Carolina, and he was going down dirt road at night with his wife. He was in his truck, had a trailer on the back. Something hit the side of the trailer. So he stops the vehicle. He gets out, looks to see what hits the vehicle. I think he said it was probably about 10 to 20 yards, give or take. This creature was standing in the road there behind the trailer where he was able to see it. And he described it as your typical dog man, very canine looking. And it was just standing there watching him. And he had a revolver on him. And as he was getting ready to pull the revolver out, he noticed that there was one right there on his right-hand side looking at him. And what he was saying, what he felt, he says it was just like the movie Jurassic Park, where that ranger saw that raptor. That raptor let him see him while the other one came around and flanked him. And he said that's how he felt. So he pulled his weapon out and he discharged his weapon at it. He believed he hit the one.
Gosh.
But that's one of these encounters where they let you know that they're there. There's another one in Wisconsin. The guy was walking his dog, and his dog started to, go a little bit crazy, and he, trying to figure out why his dog, and he sees this creature standing in the wood line there, watching them. And, he was able to get a pretty good, decent picture on his cell phone of this creature. And, we have it on our website. And, so, these are the type of encounters I'm saying where they, let you know that they're there. I generally, in my belief, I don't think they want to let you know they're there. They're just going to let you go ahead and pass on by, but like I said, it comes to these certain times where they actually let you know that they're there. So when I say, he'll find you before you find them.
Gotcha.
But to get back to your first question, just do research on where their sightings at, what areas where they were sightings, and just, start there. Another good place to check is that if you go to Google and you type in Dogman sighting map, and Google will bring up a map of the whole world, and it will have every single Dogman sighting in the whole world, in every single location. And that is a good place to go start. And you can find your state, and it will bring up every single sighting that was in your state. And what does Google basically, they follow people like us who are researchers, and we report it, to them. There's a particular site that you can go to and report it to, and they'll go ahead and put it on their map. And that's how, you can find out where everything is. And that's, like I said, that's a good place to start.
Wow. I had no idea. That is like an awesome tip.
Yeah.
So, okay. Does law enforcement and or the government and or any other groups that have our best interests at heart, do they know about these creatures? Are we being lied to, or do they think that it would cause some kind of public uproar? I know you have a lot of knowledge kind of about that. I know you speak to people.
The thing of it is law enforcement has code names. For Bigfoot, they call it a black cow. For Dogman, they call it the black dog. So if a police officer gets a report or gets a sighting, when he calls it over his radio, he's going to say, yeah, there's a black cow report, or someone's seen a black cow, or someone's seen a black dog. That's their code name. So people like you and I, we don't think twice about it. But law enforcement, they do know that. And I've got that confirmed through law enforcement. I've got that confirmed through, Department of Natural Resources here in Ohio. And from, guys that I work with, who I know from the U.S. Forestry Service, has all, both, all of them have sat and told me those are their code words. So are they trying to hide the fact? Law enforcement is not, because their number one thing is public safety. Mm-hmm. The U.S. Forestry Service and most state DNRs, yes, I truly believe that they are trying to hide it from us. And things. I've been on investigations where the DNR has been there and literally just removed us from the investigation. I've been on we were on one investigation, and we were up on the fence line, getting our game plan, and the DNR guy came up and he was talking to us, and he says, that's a reserved, preserved area. You guys can't go in there. And it's like, well, we're not going in there. We're just standing here talking, and
right.
then we're just talking to this DNR guy about the hunting in the area, how good the turkey hunting is and how good the deer hunting is. And, we even talked about the lock that was on the fence. The gate. I'm not kidding. And then he asked, well, what are you guys doing? And he said, we're here, looking for the Germantown Dogman. And
wow.
So he puts his head down and he says, get the hell out of here.
Wow.
So he knew what we were talking about, and he knew what we were doing. And the minute we mentioned it, he had a whole change of attitude. So they do know, what's going on, and they are trying to hide it from the general public. And it's not. It's my belief the reason why they're trying to hide it from the general public is, one, they don't want a bunch of people running out there trying to kill this thing, and putting other people's lives in danger, because of it. And it's their job to, protect the species, even though they don't want to admit that the species exists, So, and that's basically what it comes down to. It's an apex predator. And,
it is. Yes. Yes.
And it could put people's lives in danger. And the thing of it is, they just don't have the resources, in my belief, to handle something like that. U.S. Forestry Service probably does, but, you have to put resources, you have to put money, you have to put manpower in there, and a lot of them just don't want to do it.
Absolutely. Well, Joedy, I have like a million more questions, and you and I could probably talk for 8 to 24 hours about this topic.
Yeah, you need to start doing a 2-hour show.
I do. I really do. And
yeah, because by the time you get to the end of the hour, that's when it starts getting good and juicy, and
into it, aren't we? That's right. But let everyone know where they can find you, how they can join your organization and report their own sightings, and how to get a hold of you.
Okay. Our organization is called the North American Dogman Project. We have a website, which is www.northamericandogmanproject.com. They can go to the website. They can, look at everything that's on the website, or your reports, sighting reports. They can look at, documents that we have on there. They can submit a report. They can join the organization. There's a lot going on right now. So if you send a message, if we don't get back with you right away, we will get back with you. We just kind of changed around our email servers and stuff, so that may take a couple of days for us to get back with you. They can look my books up on Amazon. Just type in my name, Joedy Cook, and they can find my books there. But, or look for me on Facebook. We also have a Facebook page, the North American Dogman Project does.
Absolutely. And you can also go to old archives of The Secret to Everything. And we've got lots of great conversations Joedy and I do there. Thank you so much, Joedy. I love you to death.
Anytime.
Big fan. Big supporter. Look forward to talking to you again. Take care.
Yeah.
Tune
you
in.
Too.
Thank you so much. Tune in next week for another thrilling edition of The Secret to Everything.